shot just to me and you. And if we ever go together again, I wanna promise that we see this through. So I am not free to be whoever I want to be. Can somebody come? Can somebody come in? Can someone come and rescue me? I'm not afraid to be who I want to be. I'm not afraid. Can somebody
All right, all right, all right. It has been quite a while since I have been on any sort of stream. It has been about a month now, I guess. It certainly feels like a lot longer than that, but here we are, back live, Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, IGL casting, back to the roots, of course. And we got another than the real jar, starting us off in our first 3v3 matchup of the night, like you saw. ETS Flex Tape versus Team Exploit. We're going to get these teams in here in just a moment, and we'll get this match started. And by the way, I'm using a brand new Elgato Wave 3 microphone, so if I sound like doggy doo-doo, please let me know so I can change the EQ. We messed around with it a little bit last night, me and one of my friends, but we're sure it can use some improvement, but I'd like to hear y'all's feedback, how it sounds on the stream. And if I sound great, definitely let me know that too, because then I don't need to change anything. And thanks to Jar for dropping the host, and to Spade for dropping the follow, and to basically Beamer dropping the follow as well. Appreciate you both. We're on our way to the very nice follower number. So if you got some friends, be sure to send them our way. If not for the memes, definitely for the action. All right, so both teams should have the lobby info now. Send out to both Jar and to Seer. What's up, Chaos? Thank you. Even with the beard, I'm still looking that way. I kind of want to get rid of it. I don't like it as much. It's just I've been lazy, and I didn't bring my my shaving stuff with me on vacation. I thought it would last me long enough. It just about did. But now I've been too busy here. Spring cleaning. You might recognize that the desk is, well, it doesn't have the PC on the side of it. I just dropped it to the floor. Not actually dropped it. I just put it to the floor. So it's out of the shot. I kind of want the camera to be this way a little bit more, so there's more of a background, and you don't have like this thing kind of cutting in on the side either. There's some changes I want to make, so I'm working towards it. And once that's all done, I'll consider getting rid of this too. The Mom Jar, the one and only. Absolutely got to look forward to a good match always, but especially when we've got another IGL caster and a KU caster at that as well. And thanks for dropping the follow, the Mom Jar. I hope you enjoy watching the real Jar play, and it looks like we've got everybody ready. Let's hop right into it. All right, and if I'm a little bit rusty, and let me know how that let me know how that game sound, or how the game sounds as well, if those engine noises are loud enough, if the goal explosions are bright enough for our. Oh my goodness! Lalu, a statement of an opener, picks it up off of the restart. Or not even off the restart, just off the start, goes for the air dribble off the backboard. Jar already calling for a restart just to avoid the embarrassment of having that goal on their record. Not the greatest start for an ETS Flex Tape, who admitted just moments before this that they're a quality team, but they just didn't have a very good week one. They didn't play up to their expectations. They're looking to right that wrong this time around, and it looks like, oh man, Ivan just barely missing. Ball going off of the side post, and Lolly with a great carry out relieves some of this pressure from their defense. Just for the moment being, though, as the blue side looks to establish themselves on their opponent's half. Lolly once again picking up the ball, making something happen with it. Seen it 3 or 4 times already just in the opening minute. Looks like they're going to be the one to look out for when they've got the ball on defense. Really going to have to make sure that those challenges are on point, or else you might have a counterattack on your hands that you have to deal with. Jar has to be quick here as Sear was coming from behind looking for the demo. Managed to do something with it quickly enough, and now Bianchi gets the backwards flick, and there's Ivan trying to get up, but Sear a little bit too quick to it. Strong 50, it leaves Lolly wide open in the middle for a great finish. 2 up for Team Exploit. Started learning HTML and CSS. Are kind of scared to learn CSS. That's just about how it's supposed to be, Chaos. That's what I've heard. That's what I've read. Is CSS is a little bit more difficult than HTML, especially because the CSS can easily break your HTML code, whatever you've already done. Ooh, little redirect. Jar trying to put the block on against Sear in front of their own net, but not able to get there in time. Ivan slowing the play down, going to the ceiling. Bianco gonna try to get a little redirect for themselves. It's nicely pushed away by Lalu to the opposite side of the goal. And now we've got Key 76 rounding out Team Exploit. Another team that went 0-1, but is looking also to change that around, go one-on-one at the end of this week. It wasn't the prettiest air dribble from Key. There are lots of spinsies in there, but it really wasn't until the very end where they just let it drop, bounce over that last defender, being a fairly quick 3-0 for Team Exploit. They get off to a very hot start in IGL Week 2. We'll see how ETS Flex Tape, if they can patch all of these holes in their defense at the moment, or if not even Flex Tape is going to be strong enough to keep out Team Exploit. And I'm sure we've all seen the legendary JonTron video about Flex Tape. So seeing that video makes my heart very happy to see this team in IGL. We all know that the real Jar is always here for the content, for the memes, but we also know that Mr. Bepic comes in with the raids every once in a while, and they do so tonight. Just in time for the beginning of this match. What's up, Bepic? And welcome to all of you joining in from Mr. Bepic's stream. Yes, sir, Bepic, another Tier 1 match. So you came in at just the right time. We're still in Game 1. Team Exploit looking like they might close it out, though. But certainly a Tier 1 matchup. And you know, Flex Tape, they're looking to prove something. They know that they can play better than they did in Week 1. So they're not going to go down easily in this series. Just capped off a 5-game Tier 1 series. Whew. I hope that we have that here. Well, Bianco's going to try to make that happen. Pulling one back, just showing that it can be close between these two teams. They're not going to allow Team Exploit to run away with it. Just getting this first goal for Flex Tape is going to be very important. What's up, Dosani, Big Wungus 69? Both are here from the raid and for more Tier 1 gameplay. And absolutely, I don't have any sort of spam protection on, so if you want to do like basically Beamer does, spam the R spam the Jolly Roger, whatever you got to do to help out Jar. Please feel free to go for it. And the Short King lose for the follow. Shout out to you. And shout out to Lalu, who's going to get the hat trick in game number 1 of this series. Can't go without mentioning that pass from Key, though. Just enough. Sometimes it can be too easy when you're right under the ball to pop it up a little bit too high, but they got just enough power to keep it going towards the middle, get up just a little bit in the air, but not quite out of reach for their teammate. And they reestablish the 3-goal lead that Flex Tape now only has 40 seconds or so to mend. Lalu, good save. Looks like first up is going to be Lalu as well. This ball rolls towards the sidelines, and Seer goes for the small play. Ivan, oh, the touch isn't a great one, but Bianchio is able to come in, help out. Seer looking for a 5th goal, sets it up to the backboard, and Ivan's going to be able to push it out wide. Follow it up themselves, a good midfield challenge, and Lalu, oh, going to miss this one, but it's pretty much over at this point. Just a couple seconds left. Oh, but that's not going to stop him from going for the 5th goal. You might be able to keep it up on 0 seconds. Key turns around, gets the angle, and on 0 seconds, Key and team exploit, making it a 4-goal advantage to close out the game. Yep, tier 4 would be Diamond 2, Diamond 3-ish Chaos. Shout out to Pulse for providing that answer. Yep, so if you're right around that range, there's a tier for you. There's a tier for everybody. It's a big wungus for the follow as well. Welcome, everyone. Coming in from the Bepic stream, maybe coming in from Jar's stream, who's hosting this lovely matchup as well. Jar not having the greatest of starts, though, to be honest. Only 70 points. Okay, and we know that points don't really matter. But they do. When your points are just that much lower than everybody else's, it just shows that Jar is really struggling to get into this first game. Maybe I shouldn't have joined his lobby earlier. I should have left him alone so he could warm up instead. I did also hear, though, that if ETS Flex Tape is losing, it does mean that Bianchio is eating. What he's eating, I couldn't tell you. I really could not tell you. But, you know, I guess we can find out afterwards. If they won, then it had to be something absolutely delicious. Maybe a Mama Jar home-cooked meal. But if they do lose, ooh, I don't know what that would be. Maybe Taco Bell or something. I don't know. Something not entirely delicious. Well, depending on what you get from Taco Bell, you could argue it's pretty good. It certainly wouldn't be part of a healthy and balanced breakfast. So let's go. Let's get the Jar spamming in the chat as they look to come back from a not so hot start in game number 1. It was almost a 3-goal disadvantage, became 4 at 0 seconds. And now Bianchio, Jar, Ivan, they've got work to do. And they're going to get it started in the right way, getting a goal for themselves. They didn't get the first strike in game number 1, but they certainly get it in game number 2. Like I mentioned earlier, that first goal from Flex Tape shows that they had something to hold on to from the first game. It wasn't all bad for them. Now they're looking to keep the good vibes going into game number 2 as Jar puts in a very strong challenge. It's going to be Ivan to cut it out, try to serve up the pass towards the middle. Bianchio, quick turn at the midfield to keep it in the orange side of play. Jar getting up early. Looks like they got just a little bit too far forward, but it could turn into a great pass for Bianchio, who looks for the opposite side, and it's going to go on the inside of the post, finding the net. Bianchio once again, 2 goals in the opening minute. A much better response for ETS Flex Tape. And this is what we want to see from them going forward. Strong offensive play, keeping it tight at the midfield. Because really that whole play started with the quick turn at that midfield. I believe that was from Kier Bianchio. And ultimately turned out to be well worth it. Lalu almost finding a starting goal for themselves. Ivan pushes it up towards the side. Not a lot of boost though, so they couldn't really go for the air dribble. Just trying to find some sort of pass towards infield. It's cut out well by Team Exploit. Now they go down the other way. It's gonna go off the crossbar and out. Jar following it up, strong challenge. Bianchio gonna leave it for Ivan, but it looks like they're gonna be second best to that challenge. Sear not the greatest landing, so it gives Bianchio just a little bit of time. Here's Lalu trying to find the angles. It's out of reach of Jar, and it's gonna be difficult for Flex Tape to break out of their own half. They're lacking a little bit of boost, but the great carry out from Ivan is going to allow them a chance to reset. We didn't see that midfield pressure from Team Exploit, and they were made to pay for it. So they've got the ball. Sear looking for the flick, and it's just enough to get past Bianchio. A goal on the board for Team Exploit in game number 2. Chaos, I am mostly fluent in Python, but I do have a little bit of experience in R, SQL, C++, and Java. Java being my least favorite out of all of them. But Bianchio coming in with a great response. Sear claiming that their deficit is due to them turning off their monitor. At least they're willing to accept the responsibility, you know? They'll recognize that they didn't make the greatest decisions. Now they're going to try to bring themselves back into it for the team. Bianchio really is popping off. Like basically Beamer said, a hat trick in the first half of game number 2. And we had a hat trick from Team Exploit in game number 1. So it looks like Flex Tape and Team Exploit just switching roles in between games 1 and 2. Jar finding it a little bit easier to settle into this particular game. And it should mean that they'll be dangerous. They'll be a solid player throughout the rest of that series. That's all you want to see from the beginning, is that the players they're there, they're present. Because you've always got the possibility to build off one performance from another, and we're seeing that in these 2 games. Jar's doing much better. The team overall is performing significantly more efficiently and more effectively. Ivan trying to get the bump, and no boost meant that they couldn't get there in time. Lalu is able to cut out the chance. Bianchio was going to get that middle pad, but uh-oh. Oh no. Bit of a, I don't know what that, maybe a hesitation. Oh, Jar just timed it just a little bit too late. Maybe they're expecting Ivan to come in and clear it out for them. Perhaps just a miscommunication. With a minute 15, Team Exploit still has a chance. Flex Team have to make sure that they don't let go of this game too easily. Make sure that they close it out, get themselves on the series scoreboard. They can move on from there. Volley towards the infield. Sear's not going to get there before Jar can push it back into the orange corner, but a booming touch from Key is going to send it to the opposite backboard. Ivan, oh, that's a dangerous pass towards the middle. Sear looked like they wanted to go for it themselves, cut out by their teammate. Lalu looked for a drop-down pass, stuck in the middle, and Lalu couldn't get the touch. Didn't quite get the read off of the ceiling. Oh, Key, they really thought about going up for it. It was for their teammate. Ivan needs to get this clear out, though. 30 seconds. And Sear is going to be left wide open. Another whiff from ETS Flex Tape. Jar can't quite stretch out far enough to get in. There's no third to cover for their mistake. 25 seconds left, and Team Exploit have brought themselves back into this game It's not what you want to see from ETS Flex Team. After having such a good start to game number 2 and struggling in game 1, you're hoping that they'd be able to even out the scoreline at this point. Lolly, full on boost, so has options, but it's just going to go for the light touch. It still might come back, though. It's off the lower corner. Seer getting there close, and Ivan's pre-flip going to be enough to tap it down and give Flex Tape at least some breathing time between the kickoff. Oh, Bianchio setting up Ivan, and that's going to be the first game win for Flex Tape. Bianchio capping off a brilliant performance with a hat trick and an assist in overtime. Talk about a 2v4. Well, Jar once again at the bottom of the scoreboard, but 2 assists meant that it wasn't quite a 2v4 as he makes it out to be. But certainly a much better individual performance, a miles better team performance from ETS Flex Tape. They almost gave it up at the end, so they've got to figure out some things at the back. But it's a great step forward for them. My friend knows something called Lua. I've never heard of Lua. I'll have to look into it. It's pretty close to Lalu. Maybe he knows something about it. All right, game number 3, everyone. Between ETS Flex Tape and Team Exploit, gonna be an easy kickoff win for Team Exploit. Ivan, I don't think was quite expecting that to happen. And already Team Exploit is being given a chance to establish themselves on the blue hat, but that poor touch by Lalu is gonna send Seer all the way back. Ivan on the chase. Bianchio trying to find the angle. Wasn't able to get up quickly enough. They're gonna have to rotate out, as will the rest of ETS Flex Tape. This touch from Jar is going to send Ivan up to nearly the ceiling. Ball takes a couple bounces in the corner before being picked up by Key 76. Lalu looking for the turnaround after a poor recovery from a Flex Tape player. But it's Ivan that sends it all the way to... Gets a fortunate bounce as well. Tries to go for the front post. Lalu, a good pop-up. Ivan not there. Jar's going to have to push this towards the corner, but it's sent back into the middle by their own teammate. Lalu's going to capitalize on all of this confusion and chaos in the back for the blue side. A deserved 1-0 lead for Team Exploit because they've just looked more composed in the first minute. Another favorable kickoff for Team Exploit as Key tries to find a path towards the middle, and it's Seer who's gonna latch onto the end of it. Finds the back post. And it is a smart play from Key, recognizing that there's no challenge high. They didn't have any boost, so it would have been a pretty weak pass towards the middle if they had passed it from just off the wall. Lets it drop. Finds the awkward push through the first defender. Oh, Lalu threatening with a third and is able to send it just to the right-hand side of that front post. And an even better start, really, from Team Exploit. You can ignore that previous stream elements timer command. We are not in the caster class. That was back in December, where I had Team Devious, well, now Next Esports, representing me there. We actually lost to the real Jar and his EU boys. So they're a quality team though. So As much as I would have loved to keep going, they were a quality squad. Flex Tape, the issue really seems to be their defense at the moment. They're being cut open just a little bit too easily. Not all these players seem to quite be on the same page in terms of their rotation, in terms of their challenges. Bianco trying to find the wiggle through the defense. Good 50 from Bianco, and Ivan recognizing the situation. Turns towards the corner, but is still not able to make anything out of it. Bianco has to do it themselves. Jar opts for the mid boost, takes a shot with all of that power. Key narrowly able to keep it out, and Lalu's going to have the carry out towards the midfield. The ETS Flex, they've got to capitalize here. They've found a rare opportunity to push forward with Team Exploit not getting the touches they wanted a couple times in a row. Great save from Ivan, but another infield pass coming. Sear just wide. Ivan's able to get the touch, but it falls down to Sear. Bianco's backwards. Jar has to come help them out. And to the ground they go. Getting it out towards the opposite half, but just like that, Team Exploit back on the other half once again. They are not letting up on this pressure. Chances few and far between for Flex Tape at the moment. Really got to find some sort of midfield, honestly. It's what's going to do them some good. They're just allowing themselves a little bit too easily to be put on that back foot. And it results in a fourth goal. This one for Lalu. First kickoff really to go in favor of ETS Flex Tape, but the flick from Bianco gonna roll wide. And Flex Tape really not able to buy many chances in this particular game. I haven't been able to capitalize on the few chances they have had. Bianco leading the charge, gonna get eliminated by Sear. A bump coming in from Jar, but it really just means that Ivan is gonna have to hold down the midfield. Jar looking like they're taking the nuisance route now. Finding some physical plays in the backfield, getting demos on players that aren't expecting it. It's certainly a valid strategy. Might be a little bit late to change things up now, but you know, if they're able to find at least one goal and some success with that sort of play style, or any change they decide to make in these last 30 seconds, and it shows that they're going in the right direction. They've got something else that they could try out for a longer period of time in game 4. Jar able to get up quickly, but the pass a little bit too wide for Ivan to take an immediate shot. Key has a nice little wall dash, using that to gain some extra speed and put in a challenge that ultimately sees the orange side still in the blue half. Three-pronged attack coming in, and the Jar very quickly puts it to the nose of Ivan, and it looked like they might have actually pinched it. Oh, yep, they certainly did. Jar tips it over to Ivan. You know, let's put this one in together. Team effort. With 5 seconds left, they've cut the deficit down to 3. A little bit late for that. But sometimes all it takes is a singular goal to lead to a much improved performance in the next game. Games like Roblox were made using Lua. Is it mostly like a game development language? Maybe that's why I haven't heard of it. All right, I seem to know what the problem is here. ETS Flex Tape was doing fantastic in game number 2, when you all were spamming the R's to help out Jar. And now you all has stopped that, and Jar has now found themselves at the top of their team's leaderboard. But the team overall they're hurting right now, everybody. We need the spam back. Let's see the R's to help out Jar. And maybe they can push this to a game 5. Whoops. Gotta make sure that we get that scoreboard corrected. There we go. But game number 4, already shaky start for Ivan and company. They're able to find their way out of their own half. Remember, this is a best of 5 series, so if Team Exploit are able to take the win in this game, they will walk away as your series winners. And Jar, you know what, basically, Beamer? I think you helped Jar out with that one. You drop the spam, and Jar comes in with a big goal to start this off. 4:20 left on the clock. ETS Flex Tape find themselves in the lead. However, we have to remember that in game 2, ETS Flex Tape almost gave away their lead, so we must proceed with caution. But the fact that they're able to get the early goal is a sign of things to come. But brilliant clear from Ivan and Jar, just trying to get to the end of it. Had to stretch out for that one. Couldn't quite reach it for a quality touch. And now it's Lalu coming down towards the opposite end. Looks for the block at the front post. But it's set up for Key. Seer gets up. Gonna be a double commit with Lalu, and that's gonna leave the net open. Key having to cut in. And now it's Bianchio towards the inside. Lalu follows it through the corner, and a big clear for them as well. Ooh, can Ivan get turned around? Is narrowly able to come back in time. Get behind the ball, find the clear, but Team Exploit's midfield press has been very good tonight. You need to find an emo for Ivan and Bianchio. If I was well versed in my Twitch emotes, I'd be able to help you out. Too bad we don't have Oreos. Spam Oreos to help out Bianchio. Ivan puts it up towards the backboard. Searching for the demos on their way out. Trying to go for the physical play that can disrupt any Exploit counterattack. They can stop them from being able to enforce themselves at midfield. And now we see Jar with the demo on Key as well. And as a result of those demos, Flex Tape have been able to help release Exploit's grip on them at the midfield, finding a couple fairly easy carryouts of their own. And eventually that's going to turn into opportunities, into goals. Although Seer tries to use their mechanics, and it's going to be enough. Great pop-up, beautiful control, gets the flip reset, used it immediately, and Bianchio, despite their best efforts, was not able to get behind it. So 1-1 between Flex Tape and Team Exploit. Seer and Lalu, 2v1, trying to find a demo on Jar with Seer, and they're gonna get it. That's still open. Ivan barely cannot get the recovery, and Key finds the back post wonderfully. And that straight back rotation meant that Ivan had to choose to cut at the front post or the back post. And ultimately, turning either way was going to have to make them make another very sharp cut towards the middle of the goal. And all of that was just a little bit too slow with the incoming shot. But Bianchio, once again, coming in to set up Jar. That's now 2 goals for Jar, who's, like we've mentioned throughout this series, has slowly been finding their way into the series. It was very shaky at the beginning for all of them, to be fair. But Jar is a completely different player from games 1 through 4, has found their spot, and is now helping the rest of Flex Tape to keep a very close game against Team Exploit. Ivan towards the inside. Jar almost makes it a hat trick. And now Flex Tape. They've got Team Exploit on the back foot. It's a good carry out from Seer. And Bianchio, not the greatest control either, but for the most part, it's been good. 2 Exploit players in the air. That's dangerous. Ivan's going to get up very quickly off the backboard. And now team play incoming from Flex Tape. Seer needs to get this read. Oh, it's a straight tap down of one of the lightest touches you'll see. Seer still streaking down the field, though.
Hope all is well, my man. Smile.
What's up, Sin? Thanks for the tip, homie. I've been doing all right. Team Exploit's seeming to do all right as well. 37 seconds left on the clock. They find themselves in the lead in game number 4, looking to shut this down quickly. And now Seer gonna find another open net. Bianchio, Flex Tape's best player of this whole series, has given them a chance of hope in these final seconds. Oh, pass inside, blocked quickly after Key's shot. Pass towards the infield, not gonna come in. There's Lolly with the shot. Key with the follow-up. And now Flex Tape. They've got to gain some control of this ball. It's up pretty high in the midfield. Lalu gets there first, straight down off the ceiling, and it's going to be another goal. The icing on the cake for Team Exploit as they cap off a very good 4-game performance. And they are able to close out ETS Flex Tape despite their best efforts. The Flex Tape, it was a nervy start at the beginning, but they looked better as they grew into this series. Game 2 was obviously a better going offensively, and the defense, they just couldn't really find any answers to Team Exploit, and that was what ultimately got Flex Tape. They're still able to put up a couple goals here and there, but ultimately the defense failed them this time around. They will drop to 0-2 in the IGL 3v3 circuit. And Team Exploit, they break even after the first 2 weeks. They go 1-1. Oh, you're very welcome, Lalu. You're very welcome for the cast. You're also welcome. Jar, the game you played the worst was when you won. Sometimes that's just the way it is. You were so bad that the other team just wasn't expecting it, you know? They weren't anticipating everything that you were doing. And Lalu, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. GG Seer, you're very welcome for the cast. You're very welcome, Mama Jar. Always nice to see you out supporting the real Jar. Saw he had your first LAN the other day. Yeah, so that tournament was in, was that December or November or December? Honestly, I can't remember. It was sometime right before I left for Christmas break. I think it was November. But yeah, the Missouri, it's called MOSEF, basically Missouri's like esports like group organization. hosting the Missouri High School Rocket League Championships at the St. Louis Science Center. I'm only about 20 minutes from there, and so they asked me and or they asked Rebel Fox, who's the League of Legends caster from Maryville, and there were a couple other people from Maryville that were involved with running the event, and they asked if they knew any other casters, and one of them knew that that I casted Rocket League, so they asked me to come out, and it was awesome. It was a long day, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And so whenever I see that Mosef posts like videos or pictures, I like to grab clips or screenshots from it. And that was why I retweeted it the other day, because they just put together the recap video. Yes, Lalu, I do go to Maryville. Oh, you're from St. Louis too? Nice. Yeah, I live not too far from Maryville's campus, so it kind of gives you an idea of where I'm at. I'm originally from California, though. Oh, you're welcome, Ivan. And to Key from CT, also thank you for the follow. Grandmama Jar, hey, the quiet supporters, we appreciate you too. You don't have to get all rowdy in the chat, even though we love to see that spam. But just coming to watch, quietly supporting from the background. We love to see that too. I do live in Missouri. Yeah, man, it was awesome. I wish that in high school I had I had people to play with, but I was like a step above everybody else, because Rocket League was kind of, once I found Rocket League, it was one of the only things that I played besides like Fallout 4. So I didn't really, there wasn't really even a chance for me to put together a team. But now, just like 4 years out from that, now high school esports is like common now. It's super cool to see, and to see them compete on a LAN and see all the parents there, just kind of just like a regular high school event. You've got all the parents there, the faculty members that help make it all happen. You've got cameras and lights and producers, the casters. We were actually, our setup was in the stands, and the players were right behind us, and we could, like, the crowd was this way from me and Rebel Fox, so we were able to engage with them and get them hyped. It was awesome. I'm looking forward to, hopefully they'll do it again soon. Oh, they'll do it again next year, or maybe even in the spring. I'm not really sure, but hopefully I'll get a chance to cast another LAN again soon, because it is so different from being here online. Have you ever seen Pythian Castle? I have not seen Pythian Castle. Is that, yeah, I've never heard of that. What time is it? 7:41. Okay, we got some time before the next game. So congratulations again to Team Exploit for taking down Flex Tape in that series. We do still have 2 more games up tonight. We've got Team Serene United going up against Escape Velocity Starquake. That's going to happen in the next 20 minutes. And then Blindfire Legion versus Quacked Esports. That's going to be happening at 9 p.m. Central. So just an hour after the start of the Team Serene and Starquake game. And are you still playing for Eevee? I am not at the moment. I took last IGL the last IGL circuit to play with my school team, so I kind of stepped away from my Starquake squad. So that, and they're gonna be the ones playing up next. Swift and Fatal, you'll see, were two of my teammates from that team. But no, I'm not really. I'm still playing with Maryville. We're gonna do NECC, but I think just because we're all seniors, most of them are gonna be focusing on like jobs and finishing up classes and everything like that. So I'm actually kind of looking to sub for a team to find some more people to play with right now. I'm not as busy as I was last semester, so I gotta get rid of that timer too. That's gonna be annoying. Can't be confusing people thinking it's a caster clash. Pythian Castle is a huge castle built in Missouri by a bunch of white supremacists. You should read about it sometime. I will just look it up right now because we've got a little bit of time. That's probably why I've never heard of it. It's out in Springfield. Pythian home of Missouri. Ah, it was used during World War II. The laundry room is still owned by the U.S. Army. But I assume the rest of it isn't. Privately owned, okay. Constructed of Carthage stone and especially a hard variety of limestone commonly quarried in the Ozarks. Never been to the Ozarks either, but I do want to get out there at some point. Probably once I'm done with school. Want a 1v1? Let me get these let me get these overlays switched up real quick, Chaos. And if we have enough time, then sure we can do that. Very cool, man. Well, it's good chatting with you. Gonna go get warmed up. Always down to run some if we ever have scheduled matchup. For sure. If I ever see you online, I'll just send you an invite. See if you're available. Take it easy, Sin. Is that it? Oh, damn. Yeah, so Escape Velocity, Starquake, that was a team that I was playing with for the summer circuit. For the spring circuit, or for the summer circuit of IGL, and then since I go to Maryville and we were going to do NECC, IGL, and CSL, I was like, I just won't be able to commit to 2 teams. And on top of having some fairly demanding coursework as well, I was already feeling overwhelmed even once the season was over. But Starquake since replaced me. They've replaced Sweep, who is one of my other teammates. So Swift and Fatal Rain, or just Fatal. They're oof. That summer circuit logo is 2 circuits outdated. Oh my, I'll have to fix that. We just won't show it this time around. Yeah, kind of looking to sub for a team, just to have some people to play with. I was kind of like standoffish during the previous semester. Just whenever I played, it was with my college team, and any other time I was casting or we're doing homework. So I just remembered when I used to show up near the end of your stream. Then yeah, Final semester of college, almost done. We're almost done. I couldn't wait for it to be over. I have to go work in the real world, but that's okay. Whenever I find a good company that'll take me in. And if you liked that previous match's commentary, or if you'd like any of the next two matches that we have, I'll be streaming. Actually, let me find the. I'm gonna be casting for Falcons Esports out in the Middle Eastern region. I'm gonna try to find what Twitch page it's gonna be on. Okay, the Falcons Twitch channel. Let me see if I can find that. So Falcons Esports, one of the top teams in the Middle East. So they're set for a good day tomorrow. And let's see. I'll be honest, I don't really know which of these pages it is. So I won't give you all the wrong link, but actually, what time is it? 7:50. I can look it up real quick. Go Wikipedia. Yeah, I'll be casting with Morky Mork, who I know has done the rounds as an IGL caster as well. One question: is college worth it? Oof, that's a loaded question, Chaos. There's a lot going into that one. You won't like this, but it totally depends. It depends on what you want to do, honestly. There are some career fields where college is the only option. Engineering, for example, you pretty much you have to go to college. You have to basically go get a master's, or be really good as a bachelor's student to go get it to get a job. You want to do cybersecurity, then college is not as important. And I would recommend finding a more cost effective option. I wouldn't go to a $60,000 school for cybersecurity. And that's not based on any sort of particular program or anything that's bad. It's just that in this cyber world, because there's such a lack of people, your education isn't as important. Places like to see that you got a degree, but it almost doesn't matter where you get your degree from, if that makes sense. You can go to a community college for 2 years that has a cyber program or an IT program, get your associates, and then maybe spend 2 years in a 4-year college finishing up a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. And then that's your education. And going to community college will not only be easier, it's cheaper, and you'll also have more time to study for certifications. So unless you can get a good deal on a college education like I did, where I was able to get a lot of academic scholarships and such, which made it more worth it and a lot more easier. It made it a lot easier financially for me to afford college and to go. Then that's fine. But with certifications also being a fairly significant thing that people look for, your education isn't quite everything, or having a degree isn't quite everything. Oh, you're doing cybersecurity 2-speed? That's good to hear. Where do you go? And maybe you can kind of either agree or disagree with some of the things that I said. But I would certainly never discount the community college option. I did in high school. I probably wouldn't have been happy at a community college for me, but like when I have kids and they're thinking about college, I won't tell them don't even like I'm not gonna go. You cannot like you're gonna go to a 4 year or nothing. Like I'm gonna tell them don't if you want to go to a community college or if you don't know what you want to do, then that's it. There's tons of good reasons to go to a community college. I was thinking Georgia Tech. Yeah, I don't really know anything about like individual school programs and what they offer, but if you ever want some help like looking into that stuff and like getting my opinion on some of the things, then definitely just you know where to find me. Send me a DM and I can help you out. Because I was lucky enough to have like college counselors in high school, but I know not everybody has that to help. Not everybody has somebody like that to help them out. So even if I can pass on some of that knowledge towards everybody else to other people, then that makes me feel good. What's up, Rythex? Who are you casting for? None other than Escape Velocity Starquake, Rythex. My old team. I forget if they're they are an East team. Oh, everybody's 3v3 East. Oh, they're making it easy on me today. Look at that. Yep, I am at Maryville Chaos. We do have a cybersecurity program, and that's what I'm doing. Graduating in April. So if you want any insights into Maryville's program, I can certainly give that to you as well. So yeah, you can hit me up in Discord, or you can or you can even just like talk about it in general chat in my Discord server, Scrubs and Dubs. That's actually going to get a rebrand soon. But if you want to talk about that in there, you're more than welcome to. Maybe it'll help somebody else out who's looking for that. I meant in MENA. Oh, for Falcons Esports or Ethics. Day one of the main event. How much does Maryville cost? It's about 40 grand, but they're fairly generous. They're fairly generous with their scholarships. So if you've got some good grades, you'll almost definitely get an academic scholarship. And then they also have like other programs and stuff as well. A lot of students do work study as well. So there's tons of ways to bring that cost down. Sheesh, Falcons. It's a really fun team to cast for. Oh, I'm totally expecting to enjoy it. I mean, a top team in the Middle East. Casting for any top team is super cool because like the expectations are just a little bit higher, and that's not to say that it's not fun casting for teams that go 0-3, but it's just a little bit different. The storylines are a little bit different as well. There's always have like that underdog story where they're just trying to prove what they can do, whereas Falcons, it's like, okay, they're expecting to win here, and if they don't, then it's like dun, 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 like drama ensues. Was it GPA that will give me a good chance at getting in? If you're above a 3.0, Maryville accepts almost everybody except for a select few majors, like their mostly they're health professions. They'll take in pretty much anybody else. But if you've got like above a 3.5, I think that automatically qualifies you for scholarships. But I can't. Don't quote me on that. But we can talk about that more later on. Once I can look at all the numbers and everything. All right. So here's our next match. Team Serene United versus Escape Velocity Starquake. Obviously, my old team that I used to play for Escape Velocity, they had a really hot week number 1. Just going based off of the stats. 3.67 goals per game. And yes, they did win, so it's not like they had a great game and didn't close out. They certainly closed out. So 3.67 goals per game for them, 2.67 saves, and 3.3 assists. And that is not something that you see a lot. It's the assists being so close to the number of goals. A lot of teams tend to hang out around that 50% range, and it's the first week of the. It's only the second week of IGL, so there's not a whole lot that you can go off of. But that I love to see. I love to see that the goals being high and the assists being not far behind. All right, who else am I sending this to? Steno. Cool. I hear you let some trash player named Super Swift Picks in here. That kid's a clown. Well, we will have Super Swift Picks in here. That you can count on, Mag. That you can count on. Team Serene, they did not have the greatest start to the circuit. 1.5 goals per game, 1 assist per game, 2 saves per game, and they went 0-1. So they ended up losing that game. They only used 3 players. But they do have options off the bench, as do Escape Velocity Starquake in the form of Thali. Pull up the roster here. So we've got Steno, Blue Shadow Ninja 1, Krogger, Noxity, and Avestrich. If I butchered any of those names, I apologize. But it looks like Krogger, Noxity, and Steno were the 3 for Team Serene. Now we're just waiting for Escape Velocity to hop in here. So, oh, I never got rid of that timer. It's still loading. I'll fix it later. You all know it's not for the caster clash. Nox's classic. All right. Yeah, I saw that in the game chat too. And just for future reference, the names in on the site are supposed to match in game. Since you let me know, I'll let it slide. But just for future reference, because yeah, technically that's how it's supposed to be. So we should be. Did we get Starquake in here? No, still waiting on him. So once we get them in, we will be ready to go. Oh, I never switched up. This should be a tier 2 matchup. Get that middle portion up as well to confirm that. A tier 2 division 10 team in US East. And all right, we've got Super Swift picks Fatal Rain and Thali making their debut for the IGL Winter Circuit tonight. And I think we can get this started. Common quick chat dubs for Super Swift picks as Escape Velocity Starquake tees off against Team Serene United. Escape Velocity Starquake, a team slightly different from the one that ran out as dominant winners last week. Blue Sprucey being replaced by Thali for this matchup. We'll see if that changes up the dynamics at all of this team, but otherwise they're going to be trying to ride the high from a very solid week number 1. So again, Nox coming in under the name Classic, and they're joined by Krogger and Steno, who tries to get the diving shot in front of the net, but doesn't quite get the read, ended up just bumping the opponent anyways. Well, that touched a little bit behind the orange defense. Fatal Rain able to push it over towards the corner. Classic picks up, able to get it past Swift, goes for the quick shot. Thali with the goal line save, and is going to be granted the space to carry it out themselves. Krogger to the side. And now it's Fatal Rain picking it up, going towards the blue corner, dropping it down the other way. That's Krogger with the shot, Thali with another block. Fatal demoed from the play, so Thali has to clear it out themselves. It's not going to be a strong touch. Classic given the space to come in and put the ball in the orange corner. And it's going to stay there for another couple moments. Krogger trying to find a way through, Esteno trying to find something too. And a bit of back and forth play to start things out between Escape Velocity Starquake and Team Serene United. Thali not able to catch up with the ball on that attempt, and Swift's touch gets put towards the middle by Theno, and Classic not able to find any sort of redeeming touch. Fatal shot. Oh, it's going to fall behind Classic as well. Just completely froze up. Realized that shot was pretty well behind them. And as they were starting to drive forward too, they just locked up, knew that it was that it was behind. Thali already racking up a savior medal in game number 1 in the first half of this game at that. Swift all the way back is able to get that corner boost as well. Goes to the ceiling and a nice drop down, but it falls right to Krogger. He's going to keep the ball in this orange half for the moment being. Classic looking for the light tap towards the inside. A couple misses. Krogger and Thali 50ing it out. Krogger trying to latch onto the end of that downfield touch from Theno. Classic has to be patient, and they are rewarded with an attempt towards the net. Thali, once again, needing to put on a solid defensive display. Haven't had a lot to speak of going forward, really, either team. But Swift is going to bag a second goal. The chances hadn't been too clear-cut until that one. And Swift makes no mistake. Is able to find the front half of the opening. And Starquake seeming to pick up where they left off in week number 1 of the IGL Winter Circuit. Team Serene also kind of picking up where they left off in week number 1, but for them it's not quite a good thing. Carter, close shot to the front post, and Fatal's got a lot of space. All they need to do is get around it. Oh, it didn't look like they had enough on it. Fatal with the open net. But was not able to get enough around it to put it towards the net. A very close opportunity that Starquake should have buried. But they've got the 2 goals. They're still in a good position to make it 3. Fatal pushes it towards the back wall. Gonna track back, look for a couple bumps. Try to disrupt Fenno, but they've got the carry. Looking for the tied angle. Gets opposite of the side that they want to. And Krogger is going to find the first goal of this series for Team Serene. Classic, a nice touchback. And Swift put it in park, put it in reverse, put it in drive, and just could not quite get the right position to get the save. Well, this could be a quick double for Krogger, setting up Fenno. They're going to get bumped. And now Starquake with a counter-attacking opportunity. Swift, no redirect from them, but the pressure is on the midfield. Looking to be an area of the pitch that Starquake control heavily. Pop-up from Krogger, but it's messed up. Classic. There's Sally going for the drop-down shot. Krogger is going to put it in front of Fatal, who's able to get the touch, keep it in the blue corner for the time being. Look to set up another offensive with just seconds to go. Maybe extend that lead. Gives themselves a little bit more momentum heading into game number 2. Popped out a little bit by Thali, but not enough to put a solid shot on Fatal towards the sidewall. Swifty's going to get the touch, and Starquake will take game number 1. Oh, excuse me. One of the things about having this Wave 3 mic is it's a little bit more sensitive than my Razer mic that I had, so it catches a couple things that I wouldn't have caught before. But as I kind of mess with the EQ settings and everything, that'll sort itself out eventually. So great start for Escape Velocity Starquake. A less than ideal start for Team Serene United, but they do have a goal. They kept it close. They started to work their way back in those last couple moments of the match. And Team Serene has something to work off of in game 2. Fatal. Found the infield pass to Thali, but Thali just couldn't quite get up in time. Krogger, shot on right down the middle, and it's touched away by Fatal. But all 3 of the Starquake players not in ideal positions. That is going to have to use what boost they have to clear this out and just try to relieve a little bit of this pressure by Swift and Fatal some time to get back, grab some boost, set themselves up for success in the next couple plays. Classic going for the demo, is only able to get a knock on Super Swift picks. Oh, Swift. Oh, Swift trying to look for a ridiculous angle. Look like they try to hit it with the wheels to get a little bit more pop off the shot. A good attempt from Swift, and those are the kinds of plays that you'll see Swift go for throughout this series. Always looking for a nutty play or two, whether it's off the dribble or off a redirect. He's willing to pretty much go for anything on offense. So Team Serene may not expect, just like that, Swift going towards the backward. I don't even think Fatal was expecting that either, but it almost still worked out. But it's those kinds of plays that Team Serene will just always have to keep an extra eye out for, or else they could easily get caught and get scored on. But when they can counterattack like that and find when there's just no escape velocity defenders in sight, well, that'll keep them in the game and even give them a lead in game number 2. Oh, classic. That's going to be a great setup pass for Fatal Rain, but the shot not quite as strong as I know Fatal would have liked it to be. Swift, strong challenge on Krogger, and Theno looks to get there first, but was going to be in the vicinity first, but not the first to make contact with the ball. Swift, good read off the ceiling, trying to still get the infield pass from the corner. Krogger sniffs it out, and isn't going to great. Oh, they're actually going to block their teammate Classic, and a chance for Starquake to get some sort of momentum going on the blue half of the pitch. Team Serene definitely trying to figure out the rotations and their defensive positioning. Starquake need to lock themselves on their opponent's half while they can, especially as they're still in search of a goal. Oh, Swift, the long shot. Gonna find the left-hand side of the net. Just like that, Starquake, they've found an opening. I believe there's a demo. Yeah, there's a demo from Fatal out in the corner. That will certainly help things out as Starquake are able to tie things up in game 2. Just after the halfway point as well. Oh, nice redirect from Super Swift Picks. And that, everybody, is exactly what we know Super Swift Picks for. Going for pretty much anything on offense, even the most awkward angles, the most awkward touches, Swift is not afraid to go for them. And more often than you might expect, he gets rewarded for it. Theno pops this one into a central position, but it's Swift who touches it out to Classic. Can't get the double tap themselves. Krogger, the only one left in the blue half at the moment, needs to get this touch to be solid and sent towards the middle where Swift was ready to get up for it quickly. Now they and Thali both clearing out. Fatal, final man. Classic pops it over them. Swift has to get the touch to the corner. Thali with the quick follow-up to make sure Krogger is not able to force the play back inside. Classic to Theno. Looks for Krogger to come streaking in, but Fatal in a dangerous position to begin with. Keeps Krogger at bay. Swift, the shot. Oh, no double tap for them as the follow-up is not enough to get the read off of the crossbar. Krogger, shot on at the front post, and it's a great save by Swift. It's going to be the Savior medal, and they can't get the second attempt. Classic ties this game up after some brilliant pressure after the counterattack. Swift did well to get that first save, but just had to be in a bit of a rush to get that second one. No zoom in. I will not repeat that last sentence. It's probably not PG, unintentionally. It's the first week back to cast, the first day of casting, and oh my goodness, Fatal. Well, we do know this about Fatal. Fatal always has a banger or two stored inside them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about as top corner as you can get. It was PG, I promise. Okay. Then we'll leave it at that. For the record, it was PG. Nothing else said is probably better. But it's the first day back to casting in almost a month. And we're really being treated to some great series here. 4 games in the previous one. Now, Starquake and Serene United going just about down to the wire in Game 2. Krogger and the rest of Team Serene, they're really wanting that Game 2 win. I'll talk to you later about it. All right, Zoomin. I look forward to hearing it. For I'm Kotux, thank you for the follow. You're just in time. A follow for the overtime between Escape Velocity, Starquake, and Team Serene United. The demo on Krogger means that Theno needs to be careful. Really needs to have some strong 50s, buy some time for a reset from their team. Thali, strong challenge off of, I believe that was Theno. Theno. Oh, now it's 1v1 with Thali. Can they find the back post? And Theno just too strong on the goal line. Picks up at midfield. Classic went for the demo, realized that maybe I won't get there in time. I'll just leave Theno to it, not block any of the angles. And Thali, it was a valiant effort. But unfortunately for them, Theno had everything behind that ball. And were able to power it through, leaving the series tied after 2 games. All right, these players seem ready to go. Why not keep this ball rolling? Classic good luck, have fun. From Super Swift Picks, you see that at the beginning of pretty much every game. And if you don't see it, well, Swift may not be playing then. Pretty much a staple of Swift's game. But here we are at the beginning of Game 3 between Starquake and Team Serene United. Krogger looking for the early solo play, blocked out by Fatal, and Classic has a quick turnaround, but Fatal once again finding a touch away. They're going to have a little bit of space to work with to get rid of this ball from their own half, possibly set up an attack down the other way. Strong challenge from Fatal, and Swift's going to turn away from that challenge as well. Thali looking to get things started on the offensive end for Starquake, and Super Swift Picks comes in for the finish. Classic tried to get in front of it, but Swift smartly put the shot high. Don't let the good luck, have fun fool you. He's extremely toxic. Well, I've never had that experience with Swift. It's always been gula gula and huff 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 from him. Swift trying to go for a goal line bump. Classic really the only one in a good position, but they're able to find Theno and push this ball all the way back to the orange backward. Just like that, they're going to go down the other way. A little bit more back and forth ball from both of these two teams. The miss from Fatal, and that's going to allow Krogger to find the top right corner. Tie game number 3 up at 1 apiece. Just barely a minute and a half. Fatal. Good redirect towards the back corner where Swift and Thali can handle it themselves. Oh, Swift wasn't quite able to get the touch off the ceiling. Thali follows it up. It's a double commit from Team Serene, so Fatal's going to be given a bit of space to work with. Classic, no touch from them. Oh, and Thali can't get the redirect. Swift comes in and the touch is light. Classic gets a demo on Fatal Rain, so that's going to slow down any sort of Starquake attack. Thali. Oh, they see Swift. I think Swift sees Thali as well. It's going to go off the ceiling. Thali can't get the touch. Fatal's going to follow it up. Classic gets there first. Swift, a turn at the midfield. Kroger, the pop-up, but no follow-up quick enough. Oh, Thali just sneaking their way between two blue defenders. No bumps or demos on either of them. Kroger, oh, that's a strong flick, and it's just a little bit too high to go into the net. Swift sees Thali, knows that a defender's coming, opts for the back pass. Smart play to keep it in their possession, even if it's at the expense of making some forward progress. Fatal pop up towards the middle. Swift's going to go after it, but Classic has the advantage on it. Thali sees an opportunity to find Fatal on the side. We're going to continue this play all the way out to the blue backboard. Looks like Team Serene are struggling to kind of settle in on the defense. Every time that they have a chance to hit the ball, they're just booming it down the other way. And oh my goodness. Another quality opportunity for Fatal, but just didn't quite have good enough positioning to convert it into a goal. Several opportunities for escape velocity Starquake, but not much to show for him right now. But they've got to do it soon, or else Team Serene might be able to find a way to get themselves some possession, get themselves some momentum. They've just really been booting the ball and not able to sustain anything on the orange half. Phil, good setup, good shot from Thali, and even better block by Classic. Thali, no boost, but still has possession. Goes for the slow play, is gonna get demolished by Theno, and now they're going to go one-on-one with Thali, and Thali's going to be able to win out on this occasion. Kroger to the corner. Thali just has to touch it away off the... after a misread on a pre-jump from, I think that was Swift. Thali to the corner. Oh, they might have the open shot! And that's going to be a goal for Escape Velocity Starquake. Thali taking it all the way down themselves, and the final defender getting on the goal line, stretching themselves out, but Kroger ultimately actually gets there just a bit too late. Couple more seconds to hold on for Escape Velocity Starquake. Thali rolls it up against that backboard. Swift will kill it to the ground. And Starquake take their advantage in the series back 2-1. So Escape Velocity Starquake now on match point. But Team Serena have kept these games fairly close, actually really close. So Team Serene still has every expectation that they can win this next game, actually win the next 2 games, and take the series for themselves to try to equalize both teams' series records for the winter circuit. Classic. Well, trying to go for it themselves, can't quite sneak it under Swift. The follow-up shot from Thenno gonna be just wide of the target. Fatal trying to get a challenge on Krogger, force them to make an error. Swift puts it to the backboard. Thalia gonna hesitate a little bit on the challenge, waited for a teammate to get back. It might fall in a favorable position though. Swift gets up, looks for the opposite side. Thalia can't put it in either. Fatal Ring keeps the play alive as Starquake pushing the ball through all of the defenders, but they just can't find a way to get it on target. Oh, Fatal. Oh, the great running up shot. couple pinball touches later, and it almost found its way to the back of the net. Swift back towards the middle. Fatal. Oh, it's right to Thalia, and that's going to be goal number 1 for Escape Velocity Starquake in game number 4. It took them a while to get to this point, almost a full minute of constant pressure, constant attacking opportunities. And finally, they're able to get a goal. How do you pronounce your name? Awash. That is my name. My original Xbox gamer tag was Awash Rook. So, when I was looking for a pro gamer name, I went with a slight I took some liberties with the spelling and the pronunciation, and out came Awash at your casting service. Oh, that's a good look from Swift and Fatal, the 2 players that have been with this under this name the longest. I believe Thalia has only recently joined the Escape Velocity squad in probably the past couple weeks or so, since the end of the fall circuit. But Blue Sprucey was, as far as I'm aware, a regular for them in the fall circuit. So perhaps that was the reason why we saw such a dominant performance, because they've got that full season under their belt. But they're still looking solid with Thalia as a third. So always nice to know that Starquake have options based on the exact occasion. They're only 2 minutes away from being able to go 2-0 in the IGL Winter Circuit. Fatal leaving the charge forward, but going to turn away and give Thalia the space to work the ball through the corner. Thenno gets up quickly before Swift, but Fatal's going to touch it down towards their way as well. Fatal, another good look towards the infield, but Thalia just hanging out a little bit too far behind. Looked like they were in need of some boost before they could make any sort of play happen. Oh, great shot from Thenno to tie up the game. Both Fatal and Swift on that side of the net. But you can tell the way that Thenno angled their car, it looks like it was just a little bit easier for them to get that lift on the ball. Find the upper half of the goal. It was a placement that gets them rewarded with an equalizer. But they will still have to hold on defensively for at least another minute and a half. They can find the goal. They'll force this series into a 5th game. Krogger, the pop-up classic, not able to get there before Thalia, and the counterattack might ensue. Thenno wasn't able to get a solid touch. Pushes that out towards the center. Swift patient because of the lack of boost. Needed a strong challenge. But now it's Team Serene who are catching escape velocity. Starquake out with some poor touches, some poor misses. And have a little bit more substance going on the offensive end. Classic to the backboard. Fatal's gonna not get that read, so Thalia has to follow it up. But it's dropped right to Swift, who's gonna follow it up themselves as well. Gets the block. Still might follow it up a third time. You're gonna actually leave it for Thalia. Takes a nice shot. It's just high. Fatal comes. Or, I'm sorry, that was Thalia. Oh no, that was Fatal. I'm sorry. Fatal coming in with a decent shooting opportunity, but nevertheless, Starquake not able to come out with anything. Overtime it is once again between Starquake and Team Serene. Starquake have the upper hand, keeping the ball on the blue half for the opening 15 seconds. Oh, the whiff from Theno that could have been dangerous if Classic hadn't been in a good position to make up for the mistake. The demo from Thalia. Could leave it open. Hit Thalia. Oh, Thalia can't get around it. Here comes Fatal. Just high and wide of the net. Swift follows up as well. Krogger is going to be given a little bit of space, but the touch a little bit too far. Doesn't have the boost to follow it up. It leaves it for Classic. A decent dribble game on him. Goes to ceiling. See if they can get a block on Swift, but who's going to get a double tap, actually. It'll lift past Seno. They're going to get demoed. Thalia. Potential shot towards the front post. Fatal, a great block, but it's Krogger who's still able to get to the ball. Starquake getting pretty creative with their shooting opportunities, and oh, I don't know what that was from Krogger, but they needed to just play a simple take the shot, get a touch. They can't afford fanting this when they're in overtime and the other team is on match point. So, good cut to the front post, and they're gonna get the catch and the touch across the line. A poor miss from Thalia gives Seno the time and space to cut around the ball. Fatal flies by him. Swift can't get back in time. And that will send this series to a 5th game. A winner-takes-all situation. For Magan Q, thank you for the follow. Thanks for hanging out in the chat with me as we spectate Team Serene and Escape Velocity Starquake. Game at number 5 between these two teams that don't have much to separate themselves from or that don't have much to put between themselves or between each other. You know what I mean. These teams are close in skill, and you can tell that from the score lines. But I'll be honest, I still thought that Starquake was the better team in Game 4. I just couldn't take those chances going forward. And Team Serene, that could have been an early goal for them as well, but the tap down and the finish, not there. Oh, big demo from Thalia. The shot from Fatal is going to be a little bit wide, allows Seno to get the save. Thalia, toss it out. Swift is going to leave it for Fatal as Swift didn't have the touch, and oh, Thalia. I think the shot was going wide anyways, but a great touch to put some power and speed on the clearance. Not make it easy for Team Serene to get any sort of follow-up, even if they were in a good position. No, I'm not actually a Packers fan. I'm just a fan of memes. I just really like that that GIF of Aaron Rodgers. I'm actually a Ravens fan because my extended family's from Maryland. Oh, okay, good. All right, cool. Glad I haven't gone into. Glad I'm still in your good graces after you just dropped the follow. Valley finding a couple demos to give Swift a little bit of time to pick up the ball. Not a lot of boost to work with though, so they can't make too much of it. For both of these teams, the chances have been there, but the consistency on the touches hasn't really been there. Oh, and Swift, that was a beautiful pass from Thali. If Swift just could have kept the shot a little bit lower, it surely would have been a goal. And a go-ahead moment for Starquake. Swift, the drop down Krogger, barely able to get the save. And another sustained stint on the offensive end for escape velocity Starquake, but nothing to show for it yet. Classic has to be careful on the control and is able to get not only the corner boost but also the ball possession. This is going to be a solid carry out for them. They could use that at this moment. Oh, rule number 1 between Classic and Fatal. 2v2 situation inbound between Team Serene and Escape Velocity Starquake. I realized I forgot to adjust the scoreboard overlay. So this is game number 5, ladies and gentlemen. In Tier 2 Division 7. I have to give Starquake the slight advantage here because if I know anything about Swift, he will have had the Starquake group doing some 2v2s when they're all online together. But, oh, Theno, oh man. I thought Theno was going to get the double tap for themselves. Threatened, but didn't quite have it. And it looks like now just barely lost control of their car as well at the end. Was in the correct position, but the wheels slipped out from under them. No braking opportunity. And Team Serene, for what seems like it isn't usually the case, they have a lead now in the game. Feels like even in the games that Team Serene have won, that Starquake has led for a decent portion. Just a minute left for Starquake to put something together on offense. But not for a lack of effort. Do they still have no goals at this point in the game? Just haven't quite been on it on the finishing. Strong 50 from Swift. Fatal towards the inside, and it's gonna be Krogger to push it downfield and do anything that they can to deny Starquake a final attempt on net. Valley just trying to find some sort of 50. Fatal's 50 going to drop a little bit further back, and Swift tries to find the outlet, and more misses from both teams. Into some confusion in the midfield, but just seconds on the clock. Swift gives that one up fairly easier to Krogger, who sends it back towards the net. Fatal needs to keep this up on 0 seconds. Classic up, slams it to the ground, and Team Serene comes out on top. On the back foot for a significant portion of the whole series. If they found a way to come out on top. Krogger leading the way with a goal and 4 saves and 4 shots for Team Serene. And for Starquake, a heartbreaking loss, as they really did put up lots of great play. Unfortunately for them, the finishing just barely wasn't there from everybody on the team. And that was the difference. Right back to the camera. So, as heartbreaking as it is for me to see Starquake lose, given that they're my old teammates. GG's to Team Serene. Certainly put up a really there's a great defense, honestly. There were so many opportunities that Starquake had, and there just weren't many goals coming out from them. And Serene, they had that mental fortitude to hang in there, even though they were down for a majority of the games in the series. Still able to bring it to a game 5, and they were able to come out on top. Game 5 went their way right at the very end too. But Fatal, Swift, Valley, they put up they looked really good. They on another day had just slightly better finishing, or maybe a couple touches that they had weren't whiffed, and they could have won that series in 4. But either way, a great showing from both teams. I'm sure they'll be content with 1-1 because they've still played some great games. And when you think about it long term, every game counts for IGL. If you're one of those teams that's 3-3, you might have to get in just completely relying on your game differential. So with Starquake losing in a game 5, they've kept their game differential from dropping too low, and who knows, at the end that could be the difference. And shout out to Tiago for raiding with the party of 2. Welcome. It's been a while, Tiago. I know that's mostly my fault because I haven't really been streaming too much, but nice to see you again. How you doing? Excited for the winter split, I'm sure. Of RLCS. No, I'm not streaming so much as well. I know we're busy people, Tiago. Yeah, pretty excited. Yes, I am gonna cast MENA. Falcons Esports. Got their main event team stream tomorrow. So fingers crossed they make day 2. Should be exciting. They're obviously one of the strongest teams in the region. So I'm gonna be finishing up my research after the stream tonight, and the nice thing is that it's actually like a perfect time for me to hop on and stream. It's Friday, like 9 a.m. my time is when it starts, so I don't have to be up at ridiculous hours like I did for APAC. So it kind of works out. It kind of works out perfectly. Theno Era, thank you for the follow. GG's. Congratulations on the win. It's awesome. They're second strong, right? I think second or third. Definitely. Actually, we'll just look it up. But yeah, Wikipedia, RLCS, MENA. Let's see rankings. Yeah, so they're they're actually tied for second with Ultimates. They both have exactly 770 points. So Falcons made top 4 in the first 2 regionals, and then lost to Sandrock in the 3rd regional. And then the Ultimates lost to Sandrock in the first 2 regionals, and then only got his actually, let me double check that point is right. I think Ultimates didn't actually have a very good or as good of a 3rd regional. Yeah, they were 5th through 8th, so they lost out in the quarterfinals. But they actually lost 2 Falcons, so not a bad team to lose to. But yeah, so for Falcons, they can expect a 3-game day. Just get in, get out, close up shop. As long as they don't run into Sandrock, really, that'll be the big thing. Although, really, their 3rd, no matter who they go up against, it's going to be difficult no matter what, because they could easily run into Ultimates as well, and that should be a very good series. TRK played for them last season, right? Let me double check that. I don't quite have everything memorized about them, but yes, TRK was playing with them before he joined Sandrock, and then yeah, this is almost it's kind of a completely different team actually from last season, or from before, I guess, because it was Falcon acquired Sleeping, which was Venom, Ali, TRK, and Faisal. And then Mirzo as the manager, and then TRK left for Sandrock. Ali, Venom, or Falcon acquired the empty roster, which was SMW, Twiz, and Impressive. And then Ali played for them as well. Venom and Faisal moved to White Falcons, whereas the new empty roster, or the old empty roster, was Green Falcons. And then Fahad joined for a little bit, then he was released from White Falcons. Yeah, there's like all kinds of things going on. So now the current roster is SMW, Twiz, and Venom. Even Venom, like in the fall split, was moving to Sleeping and all these other things. So now it's SMW, Twiz, Venom. Impressive is the substitute, and Dougie is the coach. Well, at least 2 teams from MENA might qualify into Worlds. That is true, and that would be super exciting if they did that. They certainly have a shot at it with the way that Sandrock is playing against all the other teams. They easily could make a couple top 8 appearances, automatically qualify for Worlds, and then leave a spot for another MENA team to come through. And that would be awesome. Sandrock, yeah, that would even get them 3. So we could even see Falcons and Ultimates potentially, or whoever at the end is just like one of the strongest teams. Who's like the fourth and it's like birds aren't too far behind them. Cringe isn't far either. So there's some teams with decent points too. Like Sleeping had 550 points, but with all the roster moves between them and Falcons, they've had to drop all their points. But if the players are good, they won't really be. They won't be missing out on too much. They'll be able to bring themselves back. Probably will have more than Sam Lol. I mean, hey, I was a fan of the way that the Sam teams played at the major. To be honest with you, Thiago, I kind of expected at least one of them to make top 8. I was hoping on it. I'd love to see some of these teams that everybody thinks is gonna make top 8 just slump, crash out of the major, and see a Sam team, maybe even both of them come in. Oh, they were so close. They were so close, weren't they? But not impossible. Not impossible. Furia played well, but Era is still betting too much on solo plays. Furia, I thought, missed a little bit of mental fortitude. Yeah, I can see that. Furia definitely looked like really good in terms of like their play style. They just didn't have that extra bit. And Era, I still thought Era looked okay. But you know more about them than I do, but so I'll trust you when you say that they relied too much on solo plays. But overall, they certainly had that potential. They just need to learn a little bit more. No worries, Swift. You're fine. That was a pretty crazy. What is the words? That was a pretty crazy series. I thought you guys had enough in you to. I thought you all deserved to win that series, but ultimately both teams looked good enough to win. I think y'all were just like, there were just a couple of those touches or a couple of those shots where if you got the touch or you put the shot on target, then or had just a slightly better shot, like it was narrow. It was narrow, the difference. Turns out they're supposed to be in the tier below this one. Oh no. So they were what? Champ 1s, Diamond 3s? They certainly looked very good for Champ 1s and Diamond 3s. I'll say. Yeah, they were good. They didn't. I wouldn't have guessed that they were supposed to be like Champ 1. They're probably like just barely on the edge between like Champ 1 and Champ 2. to is it a Crush Keeper? Is that right? A Crush Keeper. Thank you for the follow. Just moments away from getting started with Blind Fire Legion versus Quacked Esports. Actually, I'll load up the lobby right now. And MK Desi also, thank you for the follow. AK Rush Keeper. Gotcha. There we go. AK Rush Keeper. So, is it cool if I just call you Rush? For shortening the commentary? Or would you prefer AK or Keeper? Take your pick. Oh, whoops. Alright, let's try loading this again. Are you using Windows 11? I am using Windows 11, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I upgraded my work laptop to Windows 11, and I liked it. I didn't notice anything. There's not really too much different about it. So I decided I just upgraded on my PC when I got back from vacation. It was being weird when I left, so I was like, eh. How many times did it crash for you? None. Between my personal laptop, work laptop, PC, I haven't had Windows crash once. All right, so that lobby the lobby info being sent out to both of the players. So momentarily we'll have everybody ready. Seems like one of the players are having some PC issues, so they're just trying to sort those out real quick before we get started with the series. Oh, AK or Keeper, your choice. All right, we'll go with AK. So we've got AK, Legacy, and MK Desi. Actually, we'll switch it up to show that you have your graphic. Oh, looks pretty clean, actually, with both those logos. Blind Fire Legion versus Quacked Esports. Like, Blind Fire Legion, it gives me Pittsburgh Knights vibes. I like it. And here is a sneak peek at the rosters. Now, in Quacked Esports, they don't have any stats. So, looks like there was a forfeit win for them last week. No need to play. It'll be their first actual match of the circuit. All right. Thanks, Swift. Yep, this is our final match of the night. So after this, I'll be heading out, finishing some homework, and then finishing up my research for the Falcon stream tomorrow. I'm off to sleep to wake up early. Check back in later. All right, well, hopefully you can catch the last little bit of this series between these two teams. But Blind Fire Legion, they also had a win, but they had to work for their win. 2 goals for AK. It's hard to read it on Streamlabs. So AK bagging 2 goals per game. MK 1.33 for them. It's serving up quite a few assists as well. Then Legacy, not at the top of the charts in any stat, but all around a overall great team effort from them. I wonder what team you're doing. I wonder, Ignited. Take a wild guess. See if you actually know. I bet there's no possible way you could figure it out. NRG, obviously. Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Totally NRG. Competing in the MENA region. You get a cookie for that correct answer. Looking through all these Discord notifications while I've got the chance. Yeah, cookie. Good thing I'm hungry right now. United, you gotta eat. What you thinking about for dinner? Let me hear it. I had 2 double sourdough melts from Culver's, and I don't think my body liked that. So I'll have to stick to 1 next time and some fries. All right, looks like they've got the PC working, so should be hopping into the lobby any moment now. Oh, Raising Cane's. Delicious. A very solid choice. Very solid choice. I was just talking to Tiago that I've got to finish up my notes for the Falcons cast tomorrow. We love a caster with facial hair. Thanks, Sven. I'm probably gonna get rid of it at some point, but yeah, between starting the new semester this week and doing some spring cleaning in my room and on my desk and everything, it's been the last thing on my mind. What notes you got? Well, I got pretty much anything that I can find on Wikipedia. All right, it looks like we almost got everybody in here. We've got oh, somebody said that our third is in the bathroom. Okay, so AK said the third is in the bathroom. So all right, he's back. It looks like we're good to go. All right. Blind Fire Legion versus Quacked Esports. We've got... Oh. Okay, there we go. We've got everybody... We got everybody in. So, AK Legacy, MK Desi for Blind Fire Legion. We've got your mom, Hud Solo, and Junior for Quacked Esports. And this is a Tier 2 Division 9, so same skill level as the previous match that we saw, just a different division, so a different set of teams that these teams are involved with. Ooh, Hud Solo already bringing out some of the demos onto AK. Tough touch for Legacy, but AK able to get something on it. Junior, strong shot to the front post, pushed away by Legacy. You got your mom. I'm not sure who that is, so I'll DM the captain after this to figure out who that is, but we've got for the Quack Esports squad total, we've got Hud Solo, Junior Lancer, Duck, and Jeff. Jeff, 24. So I assume one of those two is your mom. Oh, how I missed Canes. Just hits the spot. Absolutely. I completely agree. Canes is top tier spend. Completely agree with all of those statements. You just go for the lazy trim. That's fair enough. I thought about doing that, but that for me involves taking the time to figure out how much I actually want to get rid of, and I certainly haven't had time for all of that figuring out stuff. So eventually I'll have the time, but no, AK is not wasting any time getting their team on the board. Just a minute and a half off the clock, and nice angle too. Using that Batmobile, a tight angle. Hopping off the corner. It's a 1-1 between Blind Fire Legion and Quacked Esports. So, I've been informed that your mom's your mom is Jeff tonight. So, we've got Jeff, Junior, and Hud Solo creating the Quacked Esports squad tonight. Junior, oh, your mom trying to find a good pass towards the inside off the corner. And now he's going to be tasked with, oh, that's not a great touch off of the corner, but it's still going to have the follow-up after a couple misses from Blind Fire. And Hud Solo going to come in with the finishing touch on that play. Great flick. Not much MK can do except maybe stand a little bit further back, give themselves a running start on that touch. Perhaps was positioned a little bit too close to that front post, but did what they could. No one else there to help him out. Quack Esports able to take a lead again. MK sees Legacy, who also sees MK continuing the run downfield, but it's intercepted by Hud Solo. Now Quack Esports looking for an opportunity to extend their lead. Misses from both sides of the pitch, and Hud Solo now has some ground to work with. Has a little bit of boost to play with as well. Couldn't get too creative, though, on the pass infield. Let it run through the back wall. But now they're getting creative with these infield passes. Still a possibility to find a way for a shot to come through. Hud Solo gets blocked by MK. The AK shot pushed towards the backboard by Junior. Legacy. Taking it up the wall. Blocked well by Junior at midfield. Although Quack Esports still second best to some of these challenges. AK sets up the pass towards Legacy. A pass a bit too close to that backboard. Made it a tough angle to find. Oh, Legacy, that's a poor miss. But MK able to sneak under them and find a way to pick up the ball. Find some big pads as well. A little bit shaky from both sides, but still just about. Still not a whole lot to separate these two sides. One goal the difference at the moment. But here's an attacking chance for Blind Fire Legion. Lacey touched towards still towards the middle of their own half, but thankfully for them, AK was there. Your mom looking for the tap down. Perhaps a third goal from Quacked Esports. Junior just needs to be smart here. Can't give AK too much space as they put it to the backboard, and there comes the shot! But for Quacked Esports, it hits the ground before it has a chance to go into the net. And by the skin of their teeth, Blind Fire Legion are not able to equalize the game, and Quacked Esports hang on for the win. Exciting start to this series, all things considered. Both teams pretty close. And is that guys? Or that guy ES? That guy ES, I guess. Shout out to you for the raid. Thank you. Just came in at the end of game number 1 of this Quacked Esports and Blind Fire Legion matchup. And for those of you who may not know me, my name is Awash. I'm a Rocket League caster. I've also done a little bit of work in Knockout City and Splitgate. Currently, scheduled to cast for Falcons Esports in the Middle Eastern and North Africa RLCS region. Their main event, day 1, is tomorrow. Seems we had a Duck join in, but I'm not sure if there's a substitution going on or what's happening, but can only have the players in the lobby when it's a casted matchup. All right. Now it looks like we've got a. So it looks like the strategy for Quacked Esports is to rotate every 2 games, get some different players out on the pitch. I assume that we'll see Duck. That we'll see Duck come in for. Oh my goodness. Well, that we'll see them come in for game number 3. But the real question is gonna be, who would he take out? Maybe we'll see. We'll have some guesses at the end of this. At the end of the second game. Legacy off the backboard. Your mom carrying it all the way across the pitch, and MK is going to be able to cut it out, although ball's still moving towards the net, and Junior's going to have a chance to set up some sort of play towards the infield. HUD off the corner, but not enough power to reach any teammates. Junior getting a second opportunity in that corner to make something happen. Legacy, nice redirect touch, but Holo's not, or HUD Solo is not going to get the catch. The drop is so close, but MK Desi somehow manages to not put the ball into the net, and there it is. That's what we're waiting for. The demo from Blind Fire Legion gives them the lead in game number 2 after a perfectly timed demo from AK. Your mom trying to pick up this ball in the corner, but still doesn't quite have the control down to get a hold of it and carry it out themselves. They're able to set up a play down on the other half of the pitch, though. Although that quickly putters out, and Desi now has control. Going to try to combine with Legacy to pass a little bit too far in front of them. Keeping it alive, though, by pushing it to the corner. AK with the follow-up through the corner. Not going to get past 2 Quacked Esports defenders. HUD looking to be the first one there. Gets the touch past Desi. No follow-up from them. And now MK will have quite a bit of space and time to do what they want with this ball. Find some sort of way to get creative on offense and create a shooting opportunity. AK gonna get the touchdown as the ball stalls out just in front of the orange net. And just at about halftime, Blind Fire find themselves up 2-0. HUD has control, gets the flick. Your mom trying to close down the angles as well. Make it difficult for Legacy to get the save. Junior opting for the ceiling, almost got the touch, even despite having no boost. Legacy looking for the redirect, but your mom able to get up quick enough. A strong 50 as well, but AK looks to get there first. It's actually a shot on target. And what? AK, the redirect. Actually, I think that redirect was from MK, but AK got credited with the shot. My goodness. Would have been quite a nutty goal if that had gone in. Still, as a result, they have they still have the advantage going forward. Well, double commit, quick turnaround, but the double commit may have just ended their chances of staying on the orange half any longer. The Quacked Esports still struggling to get a carry out for themselves, pick up enough boost. Junior gonna get the save from AK shot. Legacy picks up the ball, has 80 boost to work with. Looks for the pass. MK with the pre-jump to the front post. My goodness. Look at the pre-jump. MK was up so early. And Legacy, the pinpoint pass. So 3-0 for Blind Fire Legion in game number 2. They're going to try to make it 4. Their offense has been, or rather their pressure has been superb. They should have had a lot more chances than they've had, just given how much pressure they've had. But to still be up 3-0 with only seconds remaining is a good spot to be in. Honestly, as long as that pressure went, the fact that they had 2 goals already, they could have had all the pressure they wanted to for the rest of the game, and I'm sure that they would have been content with that. Didn't need to overextend themselves too much because there wasn't a need. They didn't need the 3rd goal. If it was a 0-0 or maybe even a 1-0, that situation could have been slightly different. But it's much, much easier to have that sort of pitch control and put on that type of pressure when you don't need to take any risky plays or really go in search of a goal. You can just maintain it. Maintain the current scoreline. It does look like Hud Solo is going to be the one stepping away from the pitch and making way for Duck. Actually, I've forgotten to update the scoreboard, so looks like we're all ready to go. We've got the substitution made. Hud Solo making way for Duck, and we'll see how the dynamic changes. Perhaps Duck can give that control in the back half that Quack Esports has been looking for, that composure in the final third, or in their own third rather, because they just haven't been able to get themselves going forward. They haven't given themselves much to look forward to on offense. Not anything to write home about. Just letting the players know that they're good to hop on in to get game number 3 started. I think they were just taking the cautious route. Can't blame them for that. So Duck getting their first touches of this series. Nice to get them settled in as quickly as you can. Ooh, that's a nice shot from Junior. Still bouncing around the goal line, but it cannot crawl over. Junior going to get a second opportunity, but it's blocked well by Desi. He's going to get a follow-up touch, their second touch of the game. Legacy looking for the pass towards the inside. MK going to let it roll over towards the back half with that slight roof touch, but they're already looking a little, well, I say a little bit better because of their early chance towards the net, but unfortunately for them, Blind Fire Legion, you give them a chance to shoot on net and they will take it. The Blind Fire Legion see themselves up in the game once again. This Tier 2 Division 9 match. First 15-20 seconds or so were Quack Esports on the blue side, but just after that changed for Blind Fire Legion, they're able to get an opportunity going forward. It looks like they're going to go for another one. AK pops it up and gets the tap down. Simple double tap for AK Rush Keeper. And even despite the demo from Quack Esports, I wonder if maybe it caused issues, like the smoke cloud maybe got in the goalkeeper's way. It was a bit hard to tell, but it's certainly a real concern. As silly as it seems sometimes, it is a very valid concern to have when you're a goalkeeper. Or rather, you're slotted into that goalkeeper role for a few moments. So, 2-0. The scoreline in favor of Blind Fire Legion. MK denying it from being a 2-1 game for the moment. That's not much that they can do with that touch, and AK able to push it out towards Legacy. He's going to charge down, sniff out the ball. MK towards the backboard. AK gonna go up again. Strong 50 from Duck, who's looks okay in this game, but still the team as a whole has not improved all that much. And that's gonna be MK bagging a third goal for Blind Fire. And despite the substitution from Quacked Esports, it doesn't look like it's paying the dividends that they were hoping. But there's still time for Quacked Esports to find some response to everything that Blind Fire has thrown at them. More than half the game to go. 3 goals. Certainly in the realm of possibility, but even if Quack gets the goals, they're still going to have to hang tight on defense against Blind Fire, who are firing on all cylinders at the moment. Okay, nice flick from the spot. Still might actually have another 50. MK coming through, shot on target, blocked by Duck with a teammate right behind him just in case. MK going for the boost steal as well. Junior, it's a beautiful pop-up, and that is going to be a very nice shot for Junior to pull one back for Quacked Esports. Give themselves something to hang on to in the final 2 minutes. Caught AK with awkward spacing between the ball and the net. And even a second player coming in for Blind Fire wasn't enough to stop Junior from getting their first goal of Game 3. Legacy just slams it against the back wall because there's not much else that they can do. They're really normally a lot better about getting the ball out of their own half, but finally they're able to get a way through. That's a good pass to Legacy. A little bit too much on it for Legacy to have a shot, but they still were able to gather control of it. Legacy not scared to make those quick cuts to put pressure on the ball. Get an opportunity like this to possibly pass in field. Ball got a little bit away from them on that occasion, but they're still sticking close to get a chance on goal. Demo on Desi, but the touch not coming in from your mom. MK has the ball roll behind them, but still not threatening the net at the moment. Potential shot from Duck goes slow. It goes for the ground play. And 36 seconds left on the clock. Duck, the sub. This is their first game in the series, and they're able to make their mark. Honestly, if I was in that situation, I probably would have shot the ball from the tight angle and prayed that it had enough to get through, but smart play. Smart play from Duck. And, ooh, that is not what you want to see if you're a Quacked Esports fan. Doing so well to get 2 goals, bring yourself back into the series, and giving AK all of that space at the midfield to fire it down the middle of the net. The 2-goal lead restored for Blind Fire Legion. Legacy, good carry out, but they need a booming touch. They really need something in these last couple seconds to hang on to something. But Quacked Esports couldn't muster enough. And Blind Fire Legion well, actually, I'm sorry. we're gonna do a quick lobby reset. And I messed up. I accidentally gave a Blind Fire 2 wins on the scoreboard, so I was reading it as if they were done for the series, but Quack actually did win game number 1. So we're heading into game 4. This time Blind Fire does actually have the advantage. Sent the new lobby info out to both the teams. But for Quack Esports, the name of the game really has to be getting those, just relieving that offensive pressure. There's been too many times where they've just gotten stuck in their own half. They haven't been able to get a good carry out or a big booming clear to allow themselves to get a better positioning on the field, grab some boost, and that has been their main weakness. It's been the main thing that I'm seeing that they're struggling with. If they can fix that, though, they are more than capable of taking down Blind Fire Legion. But it's got to get fixed this game now. I see we have a couple Blind Fire fans in the chat. Welcome, Sloth. And Damon Sue, yes, Blind Fire Legion is playing very strong, especially in these last 2 games. They've looked a little bit more solid than in game number 1, because game number one was only a 1-goal game. But Blind Fire in games 2 and 3 has looked a lot more convincing. And so with your mom having the disconnection, HUD Solo is back on the pitch. I imagine that your mom was the one with PC or connectivity issues before we started this series. So unfortunate that had to happen. But perhaps this composition for Quack Esports will see a little bit more success than they have had in the previous 2 games. And Duck certainly has looked to be on it. They haven't looked exactly out of place. As a team, they've been lacking in the areas that I've mentioned earlier. But now they find themselves a goal ahead. Game number 4, Quack Esports have taken the lead. But they will need to build on it, because we know that Blind Fire, we know that they have goals in them. The midfield pressure is what I like to see from Quacked. Making it difficult for Blind Fire to get out of their own half, give them a taste of their own medicine. Well, that miss from Duck could have been really dangerous, but I don't think Legacy was quite expecting it from the beginning. So they didn't have the angle to take a shot at first. Well, Legacy, strong touch. Do they still have enough boost to follow it up? It looks like they're barely didn't have enough. Oh, strong. Oh, what a shot from Desi. HUD Solo able to get the last second save off the goal line. Able to keep it out. Hang on. 1-0. Blind Fire Legion's still searching for opportunities. You almost expect them to get at least 1 goal in this game. But Quack Esports looking far better in this game than in the previous 2. And they now see themselves 2 goals up in this game over Blind Fire. This time, Duck acting as the provider and Junior getting the finish. Strong kickoff. Oh, off the post. Oh, so unlucky for Blind Fire. Could have had the kickoff goal, give them a little bit of momentum. Instead, it goes off the post. And it's close, but no cigar for them. Oh, AK looking for the bumps. Makes it tough for Junior and HUD. But they still can't quite find a goal in this game. Legacy, strong shot, and redirected by an orange defender. Legacy, with a little bit of assistance, is able to find Blindfire's first goal of this game. Oh, that's actually a pretty nutty touch. I'm not gonna lie. Off the backboard redirect. Now, if only us champ players and grand champ players could make that happen every day. Oh man, we'd really be something else, wouldn't we? AK picks up possession in their back corner, but it's a nice challenge from HUD Solo. The midfield pressure has been a lot better from Quacked Esports. They're not just allowing Blindfire to easily pick up the ball in their half and waltz on over across the midfield line and take a shot on target. Blindfire have had to work for their opportunities. They certainly had to put in more work on the defensive end as well. Oh, oh no. Oh no. So, I'm not... Oh, that was Legacy. Legacy, wrong place, wrong time. Really. I don't think that shot was going in. I think it was going to roll wide. But... Oh, well, that's a good response. I'm sure Blindfire will gladly take that. They got unlucky on the previous kickoff. Almost had the goal off the post. But there we go. They finally get their kickoff goal. MK able to reestablish the 1-goal deficit, sparing Legacy's blunders for now. Quacked Esports, they can hang on for just over a minute. They will force game 5. But if Blindfire... Oh, excuse me. If Blindfire are able to find a response, this could be it at the end of this game. Quacked Esports feels like they've had a majority of the possession, where I'm not sure that you could have said that about any of the previous 3 games. And now they've got the 2-goal lead back. Good pass from HUD, and very well done from Duck to get up quickly. Completely dusting the last defender. 40 seconds left on the clock. Making it difficult to make a 2-goal comeback for Blindfire, but we've seen them score some quick goals before. Not even just off of the kickoffs, but just on quick plays in general. Oh, AK finding Legacy opposite side of the pitch. The redirect just narrowly not on target. Although Blindfire looked like they want to do everything they can to deny game 5 from Quacked. AK looking for the tight angle, not able to get the touch. Legacy dropping it back. Junior send it to the backboard. Just trying to deny any touches, any opportunities for Blindfire. Duck towards the middle. AK needs to set it up quick before it hits 0. Good flick. Oh, 1 second left on the clock, and Blindfire Legion still have a chance. They've had 2 extremely favorable kickoffs. Can they get a 3rd one? Turn this game on its head and send it to overtime. All it's going to take is a smart kickoff from Quack to kill the ball. All right, well, that still favors Blindfire because it's up in the air, but MK can't reach it. Quacked Esports are able to force game number 5. After being thoroughly outplayed in the games 2 and 3, they're able to hold on. Get a second game win for themselves. And still give themselves a chance to take in this series and getting their first real win of the circuit. It looks like we're going to get another substitution from Quack Esports Junior this time, coming out for your mom, who seems to have their PC or connection issues fixed now. So let's get right on into it. Game 5, ladies and gentlemen, between Blindfire Legion and Quacked Esports. 2 games apiece, 5 minutes on the clock. Winner takes all. And the winner goes 2-0 so far in the IGL Tier 2 Division 9 Winter Circuit. The loser, unfortunately, will drop to 1-1, but still will have 2 games in the win column. So towards the end of the season, that could be a difference maker. Duck going for the air dribble. Didn't have enough behind it to carry it all the way. But was at least able to buy some time for your mom and for HUD to set up shop on the back end. Duck follows it in the air. No second touch from them, but also no quick follow-up from Quack either. Well, the midfield play kind of lacking in this first minute. It was very good in game number 4. I want to see more of that in game 5 if they want to have a chance at against Blindfire. Oh, the bump on Legacy makes it tough, but there's a touch from an orange defender that's able to push the ball wide. MK getting up first. And a strong shot a minute 10 seconds in. A great pass from Legacy, not too much on it. MK reads it all the way. Great first goal for Blindfire. Duck second best at the midfield line, but your mom able to push it towards the opposite side of the pitch. HUD given a free opportunity to take a shot on net. AK able to stretch out for it, deny a shot which looked destined for the top left corner. Your mom stopping it before it can reach the midfield. HUD solo off the backboard, and Pyro J coming in with a rate of 22. My goodness. How are you doing, man? Huge raid. And to Delco Dad, thank you for the follow. As if you haven't checked out Pyro J yet, one of my favorite IGL casters, one of my favorite streamers to watch, and also, normally, my co-caster for RLCS events. Just coming in the second half of game number 5 between Quacked Esports and Blindfire Legion. It's been a fairly back and forth series. Quacked Esports are 1-0. Or they won the first game by some pretty narrow margins, and then Blindfire looked really good games 2 and 3. Completely dominating Quacked Esports. But Quack were able to pull things back that looked better in game 4, and really Duck has been a major factor in that change. He's looked solid from the moment he got onto the pitch, and the team has grown around him despite also making substitutions in almost every game. Unfortunately for Quack, the defense has left a little bit more to be desired at moments throughout this series. And MK Desi exploiting those openings to perfection, immediately restoring the 1-goal lead. 2 minutes left on the clock for Quack to find another equalizer. Well, it could make it 3 as Legacy sets up AK, and it went off the post. Looked like it might not make it all the way, but it was just left enough, and the demo certainly not helping out Quacked Esports at all, but making it that much easier for Blindfire Legion to find the second goal, double their lead up against Quacked Esports with just a few minutes remaining. And now this truly is a test of how quickly Quack can get these 2 goals. Cutest co-caster ever, Awash. Thank you, Pyro. Well, I wouldn't say you're too far behind me on the cuteness scale either. What's up, Captain Obvious-Go? What's up, Vaughn? Glad to see you all again. See, we've got some fans of AK in here. What's up, ND Headshot? Welcome. I've seen you in Pyro's chat a lot. Your mom setting it up to the corner, trying to follow it up themselves, and decides to go for the bump or potential demo instead. In the name of the game for Quack, they just need a quick goal here. That's all they need. They need to keep themselves in it. Obviously, the earlier the better, but any goal with time left on the clock. Nope, I'm a random. I don't know, Pyro. Are you sure about that? Yeah, Pyro's response says it all. Oh, that's a strong 50 from HUD, but MK able to stretch out for it. Still Quacked, not able to get these touches. Oh, good save from HUD, but there's not going to be enough time. Even this massive flick, even if they score a goal now, there's not enough time. Headshot, thank you for the follow, and your mom, she gets the last say, as moms always do. They get the final say, but unfortunately, it's not enough to stop Blindfire Legion from taking the series. I don't know, Headshot. How were you not following? That is a great question. My mom got the last say for my follow? Yes. Yes. All good. All good, Headshot. GG's all around. You're very welcome, Legacy. And to AK. Thanks for, shout out to Legacy for booking me on the Castiverse. GG's, AK. Yeah, great series from both teams. They obviously kept it pretty close. Despite what we saw in game number 2, I thought Quacked might not be in it for too much longer, but they certainly turned things around. And to me, that shows some character and shows that Quacked still have a lot going forward for them in this circuit. So, for all of you who came in from Pyro Stream, my name is Awash. I'm his RLCS co-caster for some events, usually. As you probably saw from the title, preparing vocally, kind of, for MENA Day 1 regional broadcast tomorrow. Going to be casting for Falcon Esports. The team tied for second in the MENA region. They're tied with the Ultimates right now, and they're, well, everybody's behind Sandrock. What would you expect? But Falcons really out there trying to show that they're that number 2 team in the region. They made it all the way to the grand finals of Regional 3. And so, even though it's going to be tough to catch up to Sandrock throughout this season, there's everything in it for them. Because if Sandrock if Sandrock automatically qualifies for the World Championships, then there'll be 2 teams from MENA that can go into the wild card. So if that really could make, if I'm not, well, maybe it's 2 or 3, I forget, but there is every chance that Falcons can still qualify for the wild card for the World Championships. So nobody's catching up to Sandrock, but there's everything in it for them, for Ultimates, who are tied with them on RLCS points right now. Quack almost had it. They did almost have it, Rook. They were this close. This close. GG's on the win, absolutely. GG's to both teams for putting up a great show. Wow, he has hit some pyro. All of us were lagging, and Legacy had packet loss. Well, if you're lagging and you had packet loss, you could have asked for a server reset. Just know that going forward, that if you're having issues with connection to the servers, just let me know and I can switch it up. Because sometimes the servers are just bad. He's amazing. Thank you, Pyro. I am amazing. But yeah, that's all that I had planned tonight. I've got to get back to I've got to get back to I've got to prepare for my Falcon. I still got to do my Pyro knows. Got to do our research about the team. Make sure we know what we're talking about. So let's see. Everybody in chat, you got somebody you want me to raid? Heck yeah, Delco Dad. I'm super excited for it. This will be my 4th region that I've done or 5th region actually that I've done a broadcast for. I did team pickup for NA. I did X Team Azure and Flu Esports for APAC South. I did Vegas Inferno for Sam, and then I was part of the SSA Regional 1 broadcast, the community broadcast. So I'll have MENA under my belt. There's plenty of opportunities in OCE, so I'll be looking to get one of those hopefully eventually. And then maybe an APAC North gig at some point. Can become Mr. Worldwide. Thanks, Pyro. Yeah, it sucks that you couldn't get time off work for it, but we'll be back in an RLCS booth again pretty soon, I'm sure. So yeah, if you all have anybody on, for those of you on Twitch, if you got anybody that you'd like me to raid, let me know. Always open to bringing the masses to some new folks. If not, then we'll just end the stream here. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. Falcons hopefully will be a 3-0 day if they don't run in. Well, I kind of said this earlier. If they don't run into Sandrock, there's every chance it'll be a 3-0. You just really can't bet against Sandrock, and I think anybody will tell you that. Can't bet against them, but if they go up against Ultimates, that could be a really good match. Oh, okay. Since I'm not seeing anything from the peanut gallery, I'm gonna send it over to some of you in IGL might know Cohen. He was part of Galactic Gaming. Let's see. He used to be part of Mad Titans when I was playing there. How do you spell his name? Seems like he's on the affiliate grind right now, so we'll send it over to him. And they just went live, so maybe they won't be expecting this. So shout out again to Pyro, to Tiago, to to that guy ES, and to Bepic for the raids, Jar for the host earlier, and everybody for all the follows that you've all dropped tonight. Great first day back to streaming. It's been like a month or so since I casted in. It's been much longer since I cast on this channel, but at least a month since I've streamed on this channel. Just with Christmas and everything, but glad to be back. It was great, and hopefully we'll be able to make it a more regular thing. So keep an eye out for the MENA broadcast tomorrow. Falcon Esports on Twitch. You can follow me at Twitter at AWashRL. I'll be tweeting out that link sometime tomorrow. It starts around 9 a.m. Central, so if you're up early enough, you'll be able to catch it. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you all very soon, and you'll have a great rest of your night.